On Mother's Day, my son David, a successful businessman, came to visit me. He handed me a beautiful bouquet of flowers and asked, "Mom, my wife still sends you $5,000 every month, right?" That one question shook my entire world because at that very moment, I had been living off food packages from the church for months. The woman my son trusted the most turned out to be the one stealing from me. If you think money can solve all problems, this story will make you question everything. Stay tuned till the end, because the truth that's hidden today will come crashing down and change everything. If you love stories that hit close to home and reveal truths we rarely talk about, please like this video and subscribe to American Granny Stories, because here we don't just share stories, we share the truth, no matter how hard it is to face. My name is Margaret Hayes. I'm a 67-year-old widow living alone in a small house on the outskirts of Dallas, Texas. After my husband passed away from a heart attack 10 years ago, I learned to live simply, tending to my garden, cooking, and sometimes teaching Bible classes at the local church. I didn't have much, but it was enough to get by, until old age caught up with me and everything became more expensive. My son, David, has become a millionaire at just 38. He owns a chain of tech companies, drives a new Tesla, and lives in a mansion. I was proud of him, of course. I raised him with these hands, believing he would always remember the values I taught him. But I never imagined that the same son would be blindsided by a woman who had a plan to deceive us both. It was on that Mother's Day when I saw my son again after a while. He walked into my house, his tired but handsome face smiling as sunlight streamed through the window. "Mom, my wife still sends you $5,000 every month, right?" Those words were like a punch to the gut. I froze, heart pounding in my chest. $5,000? For the past 8 months, I had been surviving on food donations from the church. I didn't know what to say. I wanted to tell him the truth, but I didn't know how. I quietly whispered, "Son, the church has been helping me." I watched as his smile faded. He looked at me, his expression confused. Then Clara entered the room, my daughter-in-law, radiant in a silk dress, shiny heels, and the scent of expensive perfume. Clara smiled, but it was the kind of smile that didn't reach her eyes. She didn't realize that on that very day, the last of her elegance would fade forever. Clara didn't know what had happened, but I did. I hadn't received a single penny of the money my son claimed to have been sending me for the past months. So I went to the bank the very next day. The teller confirmed my suspicions. No transfers had been made to my account. I went home that day, sitting quietly in my living room. I knew the truth, but I had to be sure. I couldn't just accuse Clara without solid proof. So I began documenting everything, every visit, every excuse, every little lie Clara had told. I wrote it all down, slowly piecing the puzzle together. Weeks went by, and Clara kept visiting. She brought flowers, gifts, but never any money. Her visits were the same, polite, smiling, and filled with excuses for why the $5,000 hadn't arrived. But something changed in me. I stopped feeling anger. I started feeling resolve. I was no longer the helpless widow waiting for help. I was a mother, a woman who would find the truth no matter the cost. One afternoon, I invited David and Clara to dinner. I had a plan. I wasn't just going to confront them, I was going to expose the truth right in front of their eyes. As we sat down to dinner, I casually brought up the topic. "David," I said, "I've been meaning to thank you for the $5,000 you've been sending me. It's really helped with repairs around the house." David looked confused. "Mom, I've been setting up the transfers every month. You've been getting the $5,000, right?" I smiled faintly and asked, "David, when exactly are the transfers made? What day?" David frowned. "The 15th, Mom. That's when I set it up." And that's when Clara stumbled. I asked her, "Clara, when exactly do you send the money?" Her face went pale and she froze for just a second before saying, "I send it on the 10th, Mom." That was it. The lie had been exposed. David didn't know what to say. His face showed a mix of confusion and doubt. He started to piece things together. The money, the lies, the manipulations. everything he thought he knew about his wife and mother started to unravel before his eyes. I showed David the bank statements, the forged documents, the receipts for Clara's extravagant purchases. "David, this is what your wife has been doing behind your back," I said, my voice calm but firm. Justice takes its course. David was in shock. He couldn't believe it. Clara, on the other hand, tried to deny everything, but the evidence was clear. I had all the proof I needed to expose her for who she really was. The legal battle began. It wasn't easy, but I wasn't going to let Clara get away with what she had done. She had stolen from me and manipulated David into believing her lies. Family shattered, but peaceful resolution. As the case progressed, David realized the extent of the betrayal. He was devastated, but I knew he had to see the truth, even if it broke him. In the end, Clara was forced to return the $40,000 she had stolen from me. David finally understood the importance of trust and honesty. But the hardest part wasn't just exposing Clara. It was watching my son's marriage crumble before my eyes. I couldn't feel victorious, only empty. If you're still with me and this story has touched your heart, please hit that like button. And if you want to see more stories that challenge your beliefs, make sure to subscribe to Anne American Gray Stories, because here we speak the truth, even when it's hard to hear. Months passed, and David came to help me with the foundation I started, dedicated to helping seniors who've been financially exploited by their families. It wasn't easy, but it was a start. David slowly began to heal. He started doing the right thing, coming to terms with his mistakes. And for the first time in months, I felt hope. Not because of the money, but because my son had finally learned the most important lesson of all, that the truth is the most valuable thing we have. If today's story helped you see the value of truth and trust, hit like, share it with others, and subscribe for more. Because even when it seems like everything is falling apart, the truth always finds a way to rise.